BBC World News. We start the show in Kenya, where a group of locals are having their day in court to demand justice for a fire which ravaged their community in March of this year. They say the blaze broke out at a British Army training camp facility at the Lollodaiga Conservatory, which is near the town of Nanyuki in Laikipia County. The blaze damaged 12,000 acres of land before being extinguished. The community is suing the British Army for loss of livelihoods and environmental damages. From the Environmental Court in Nanyuki, the BBC's Ferdinand Amondi reports.
It was one of the largest fires ever caused in Kenya by activities of the British Army training in Kenya. A man allegedly died while helping put it out. That death is just one of the reasons the British military are in court. These petitioners want Kenya's courts to make the British military pay for environmental, physical and psychological harm allegedly caused by the fire and its effects.
We had cases of asthmatic attacks. Young children had difficulties and reactive airways. We also had issues of blood pressure among vulnerable members of our community.
The lawsuit wants the British Army held fully accountable. Court documents claim some soldiers who are alleged perpetrators of the fire were even found to have been under the influence of cocaine and heroin.
The petitioners say this case is not about opposing the presence of the British military here in Nanyuki. Rather, it's about holding them accountable when their actions negatively affect the community.
The British High Commissioner in Kenya had acknowledged the news of the death of an employee of the Lollodaiga Conservancy during the time of the fire and said the army had conducted an investigation. No further comment was given on account of the death being part of an ongoing court case. But the British Army now wants that case struck out on grounds of state immunity, and the petitioners are worried about losing the case before it even begins.
If the matter is not going to be successful locally, we have other avenues that we can engage even internationally, but we want to believe that based on our constitution and the rationale behind this issue, our courts will find it fair enough to serve justice to the community.
The Environment Court in Kenya has set 26th October as the date when all parties will present their submissions, after which it will determine whether the case will proceed. Ferdinand Amondi, BBC News, Nanyuki, Kenya.
And Ferdinand joins us now from Nanyuki. Ferdinand, how significant is this case with local residents going after the British Army?
Yes, the African Center for Corrective and Preventive Action, which is filing the case on behalf of the locals, says that it is going to prove that this is not just a case of the British burning bushes and choking people and harming animals, that this is a case of historical environmental injustice. They say this has happened for the many years that the British Army has trained here in Kenya, and they have never been held accountable. And they also hope that the court this time round will show to foreign entities that they cannot come to this country, cause damage, and say, oh, you cannot sue me because I am not a local.
What exactly is to be expected?
Well, there are two ways to look about it, and the ball is now in the hands of those who will make submissions towards the end of October. The locals will want to show that the Kenya court system really has the rights and the agreements to show that they can really sue and hold the British military accountable. But the British Army, through its lawyers, also want to show that the documents, other documents that they did sign with Kenyan authorities, also show that they're under international law, they cannot be prosecuted in Kenya. So once that determination has been made, is when the court will determine whether they can go ahead and prosecute the case or that the British military will have to be pursued by other means.
Ferdinand, thank you very much for that update.